So that's like a shock wave that goes through and destabilizes the tower. And as we pan back up, we pan back onto Sauron's eye at the top, looking all mean and angry. Sauron's eye goes nova and the tower begins to come apart. Now, in this test, there's only 100 moving pieces simulated and the tower is not being destroyed now, whereas in the final all of this will be coming apart. It's a difficult one whether to do an effect like this with miniatures or with CG. However, how far a piece of debris will go out of the tower sideways compared to how far it will go down, it creates an arc, and the shape of that arc will dictate the scale of the object. If things go out more, then the object that detonated was a smaller scale and shot at a higher speed. So in order to make the arc look remotely believable, I think we figured we had to make a 6-story miniature. On top of that, we also have to make it out of a form of cookie dough in order to get it to crumble correctly. So that is one big biscuit. A few things have changed since last time we talked. On top of the destruction of Barad-Dur, we are now spending a good portion of the time at the Black Gates, watching the ground open up and the gates fall into the ground and thousands of orcs being swallowed by the earth itself.
This shot was kind of a late addition, and we did have the challenge of getting it in at the end of the schedule, but still that there's so much going on and that we had to develop in a very short period of time. But luckily there had been work on the Barad-Dur crumbling before us, and they were doing good work on that, so we were able to grab a lot of the techniques and apply it to what we were doing, because there's a lot of similar things going on. This is one of the Black Gate shots. Basically what we're trying to achieve here is the ground is crumbling apart, and eventually this will be covered with tens of thousands of orcs. And as it's breaking away, we have the bits of the gate that are going to be falling in, and then the 2 towers on the side, which start to break up as well.
Our first version of this was a big stone crashing, big stone crumbling, and that sort of thing, because the tower's evidently made of possibly of obsidian or rock. So our first obvious choice was to do it with crumbling stones, which sounds pretty good, but Peter thought it would be really good to have it sound different than you would expect. He likes to do those little twists. So he thought it'd be cool to have it sound like glass breaking. So we went in the record room and just ground up a bunch of glass and some ceramic tiles and things like that. There's going to be a bit of an issue of trying to make the whole tower sound big and made of glass. So I've added some glacier bangs, some actual glaciers breaking, So you got a mixture of like sort of an ice element and the glass, and the glaciers make it sound heavy. But there'll probably be quite a few other elements added throughout here to try to make it sound like it's got the scale.